Hey there, this is John with GetLeadForms. In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can build a high converting and advanced multi-step form for your Elementor site without having to struggle, so you can get more leads and better leads too. Now, before I dive into the tutorial, there's two quick things that I want to discuss. The first is, if you are not familiar with what Elementor is, then the short version is that Elementor is a WordPress plugin that allows you to easily create a really nice WordPress website. We use it at GetLeadForms and it works great. The second thing is that if you are already familiar with the Elementor plugin, or if you're using it for the first time, you may notice that out of the box, Elementor comes with the ability to create forms. You can even create a multi-step form using the Elementor plugin. Now, this is where you might be thinking, wait a second, if I can create a multi-step form using their own plugin, then why would I use another tool, let alone pay for one? Now, for a multitude of reasons discussed in this blog post, there are a ton of potential pitfalls and potential problems that you can run into when you are creating your multi-step form using the native Elementor form plugin feature. And a lot of this has to do with a couple of things. The first is lack of customization, and the second is lack of conversion-focused features, such as features like conditional logic, real-time social proof, lead verification, exit intent pop-ups. I could go on and on. For this reason, I would highly recommend using a third-party form plugin to build your multi-step form and then embedding your form into your Elementor site. So for the rest of this video, in this tutorial, I plan to show you how to go about creating your multi-step form using a third-party tool called GetLeadForms. Now, I'm a bit biased here because I built GetLeadForms. I'm the founder, and I created GetLeadForms because I really wanted to create a better lead form tool for the conversion-focused marketers and business owners who really care about not only getting more leads, but getting better leads too. So I essentially created a multi-step form builder that allows you to create better lead forms. So this is exactly the tool that I will be covering in this tutorial. With that said, let's dive into it. Now, here is the landing page that I set up. This is set up on a WordPress site, and I'm using the Elementor plugin to create this page. Now, what I want to do is add in a really nice high converting multi-step form in this get a free quote page. Imagine in your situation, I'd imagine you'd have something that's a bit nicer as far as your landing page goes. Although simple pages like this work great, but you might have something like get a free quote, get a consultation, contact us, something like that. So to create the form and to connect it up to WordPress, the way that I'd go about this is I will dive into GetLeadForms now. So inside of my GetLeadForms account, and this is the way that it looks. You'll see each of these little blocks here, and each block represents a different lead form. I have about 344 lead forms in my test account. I'm not running that many myself now. A lot of these are just test forms. So to create a lead form, I would say that creating a lead form is the first step. Click on Create Lead Form. Now, unlike the Elementor plugin, we give you a number of templates to start with across a wide range of industries, and our templates range from embedded forms to pop-ups. We even have this really nice, unique chat style form. So let's go with a solar form here. So I'll go down to the bottom, and what we'll look to create is a lead form that is going to generate solar leads for us. So I'll simply click choose, and upon clicking choose, this just loaded the lead form into my lead form builder inside of GetLeadForms. So this is where I have complete control over the design of the form, the logic, the steps. I'm not going to dive deep into how to actually create the form itself and update things like conditional logic. We have tons of help documentation and tutorials on that. Just know that it's all possible to update inside of GetLeadForms. So out of the box, I could use this template and just drop it on my WordPress site, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. So what I'll do is go to publish, and when you go to publish, you'll see that there's a number of steps. So we'll start at step 1, configuration. The first step is to grab a pixel script, and this pixel script will be installed in the header section of your WordPress site. Now, the way that we approach things is we do not have a plugin that is used directly for WordPress. For a number of reasons, plugins can slow down websites. They have security vulnerabilities. Maybe at some point we'll have a plugin. But for now, we make it as simple as just dropping this line of code into your site. So I'll copy this line of code. Now I'm going to go into my WordPress site. Let's go, I'll just click on edit on this page. And there's a number of ways that you can approach this. You can integrate using Google Tag Manager. We have some help documentation on that. You can hard code the pixel script into the header section of your WordPress, or you can use a tool called Insert Headers and Footers. So this is a plugin, and I'm trying to find it. Okay, so I found it. It took a little while. It looks like the issue is that the plugin name has changed to be called Code Snippets. So you can download a plugin called Code Snippets and then go to header and footer. And what you'll want to do is simply take that pixel script that I copied here. So you'll copy your pixel script here and just paste it in and then click save. So doing that will instantly connect your website, your WordPress site up to GetLeadForms to help you get your form loaded into your Elementor site. Now, once you do that, step 2 is to go to target pages, and you're going to want to add the page into GetLeadForms. And this is going to be the page where you want your lead form to appear if you're embedding it directly into the page. So in this case, let's get the name of let's get the page. It is called Get Quote Test. I'll just copy this whole thing and I'll paste it in. And I'll click save. So there's just one more step since we're embedding the form. We'll go down to step 2, choose behavior options. I'll go to embed lead form, and you can either copy this div. So this is essentially telling the system where the lead form is being placed. So the pixel script's communicating back to load all the settings and communicate back to our API and our platform. This is showing what page the form is going to be embedded into. And then this div ID, or this one, is showing where on the page the form is going to appear. So I copied that. Now I'm going to go into WordPress, and I'm going to go into the plugin here and edit the page and just drop that line of code where I want it to appear. So the way that I would approach this is to drop a custom HTML block below this subhead here where it says complete this form to get a free quote. So in the Elementor plugin, go to HTML and just drop an HTML box in and paste that div that we copied from the GetLeadForms side right here. Copy this one and paste that right into there. So you'll see it's LeadForms, it's div ID, LeadForms-embed-form. Then click update. And you'll see in the navigator, it's right here, HTML, there it is. So now we've completed all of these steps to get this form working on our WordPress page. So let's go in and let's see if this actually worked. So I'll copy this link and paste it in. And just like that, our form loaded. And you'll see that it has this nice background. It has buttons. There can be conditional logic. We can set up pop-ups. There's a whole ton that we can actually do. Now, let's say you want to go one step further and you don't want that little spinner to show up. You can go into GetLeadForms and go down to raw code. So this is an advanced feature. And this really connects back to what I'm talking about in this blog post here, where out of the box, their multi-step form feature lacks a lot of customization and like advanced features to help you maximize conversions. Whereas with GetLeadForms, you can generate a version of your lead form that we call it raw code, and it's completely decoupled from the server, so that way you can maximize load speed. I'll show you what I mean. So I just created a second version of this form to embed into the page. There's a ton of code here. I'll click update. All you have to do is copy and paste. If you can copy and paste, and you can do it. Now I'll refresh, and you'll see that the form loads instantly. There's no spinner, and it still will communicate back to GetLeadForms to some degree. So this will get you those really fast load times, and there's a whole ton of benefits to that. So that's really all you have to do. As a recap, it's just a matter of getting into GetLeadForms, choosing a template, grabbing your pixel script and putting it into the header of your WordPress site, telling WordPress or telling GetLeadForms what pages you want your lead form to appear on, and then adding in your embed code into the page to say, here's where the actual form is going to appear. And from there, you can start to explore GetLeadForms. And one of the things you'll notice is we have so many features that are way more advanced. And for example, let's say that you do not want the form to be embedded. Maybe you just want it to pop up. You can choose mode of pop-up. You can set your pop-up behavior to exit intent or time pop-up. You can even segment by device. And it's just a matter of choosing a few settings inside of GetLeadForms. Another really interesting feature that we have here is the ability to choose a chat style form that has somebody's face. So let me choose a different template here just to show you what this looks like. So I'll go to create lead form, and you could essentially have a form that pops up and it looks more like a chat box. This type of form converts amazingly high compared to standard style multi-step forms. And I think it's because it looks and feels more like a chat box. And outside of that, we also have a very unique proprietary feature that we call the on-site message. You'll see that in this bottom right-hand corner, where you can set up your lead form to, as someone is browsing your site, engage them kind of like a chat bot. And then when someone clicks into the little message, and this can be completely controlled by you, you can change the picture, you can change the text, it opens up the lead form. So compared to the Elementor plugin, there's so much more that you could do with GetLeadForms, and there's so many more benefits to using a third-party tool to create your plugin for your Elementor site. So that's how you go about it. If you would like to try out GetLeadForms, head on over to getleadforms.com. You can sign up for a free trial. There's no credit card required, and if you need any help, feel free to reach out, and we're always happy to help you out.